Hello, Scorpio, and welcome to your reading for the weeks of October 29 through November 11th, 2024. This is a reading if you're Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Moon, Scorpio Rising, or have another significant Scorpio placement in your chart. If you're new to this channel, welcome. It's good to have you. And if you're returning, welcome back. You can check the description box below for more information to find my website, my social media, if you want to know more about the kind of work that I do with readings and other things as well. So I'm going to jump right into our reading this week. I'm not going to have too much of the hoopla. Okay, right off the bat, Scorpio, you seem to be very focused on, now you're in a water sign. There's a lot of grounding energy here with Earth. This is about you trying to be practical, trying to be grounded. With the Lovers, there's this idea that you are making a decision, or maybe perhaps you are showing two different sides of yourself to people right now. There may be a public face and a private face. And I just feel like you are still trying to figure out what leaves you grounded, what leaves you earthed, what puts you in a space of feeling that you are secure and that you are in control of things, what puts you in the right space of having the proper relationship to the material world. We do see you thinking a lot here about what makes you happy financially. I mean, on can come up when we are deciding to have, spa day or retail therapy day or something like that. I mean, that might be true for some people. But with Hermit, there's a sense, this is strong Virgo energy in the Taurus house. So again, just like this in the first house, I feel like there's a strong sense of feeling like, what does profit and gain mean? What is the wisdom surrounding money? The Hermit is a need almost for a retreat or taking away. So again, for some of you, maybe you figure like, okay, I'm going to take a little vacation and treat myself. That could be the energy here in the most obvious sense, I guess. But I do think that there has been a lot going on collectively, certainly, about the idea of how does money contribute to life? Like how is the use of it, or how we make it, or how we get it? It does seem like there's just some deep thinking here about what profit and gain means, and also about what happiness means as well. Like if you have a job you hate, for instance, you might be thinking about, okay, how can I make money doing the things that I love? But it does sound like you might need a little bit of a timeout or a respite here. There could be a short journey here. You've got the Chariot and Water in the third house of Gemini, which does have to do with short distance travel. This is not, getting on a plane and going someplace far away. This has more to do with what we're doing more immediately. And yeah, there's definitely the sense of movement and change here. So being in the Gemini house, this could also be news about a trip, or somebody coming to see you, or you going to see them. And if you are in your own business, this definitely can indicate movement or change, okay? There's definitely a sense that something is moving along here. Could even be a trip to go see a sibling, because this is the house of sibling relationships. So that might be true for some of you, but I'm just feeling generally that there's a lot of talk around a possible trip, again, with the Chariot here, but also around change and what we want to be doing differently. Water is definitely telling us to go with the flow. And there's also a sense here that we need to take control of things. We need to get clear about what is going on for ourselves. And this has to do more with our mundane and practical world. And again, if you're in your own business, that would apply here as well. But there's definitely a sense of driving your own chariot, so to speak, taking control of things. Okay, in the house of Cancer, which has to do with home, family, security. Okay, we have Thoth with Justice. So there seems like for some of you, there could be something legal going on. You could be signing a new lease. You could be selling a house. It could be something like that. There's definitely a strong energy here of legality and fairness with regard to something having to do with your living and home situation. There's also a sense of divine timing with Thoth. So, I don't know. I feel like you are, I don't know. There's a sense, justice is also about finding a correct balance, okay? Find the correct balance between things. And being that this is showing up in the house of home and family, there may be something about getting what you deserve, like, or what you're owed, or reaping what you've sowed. Okay, maybe that's the best way to put it. There definitely seems to be an element of that here in your home and family sector, trying to find fairness, balance, and truth. But also there could be, for some people, literally, this could be an omen of, like I said, buying or selling a house or signing a new lease or something like that. So take it as it resonates for you in this case. Let's jump over and look at the Virgo house and look at your job situation here. Excuse me. Okay, we have Hathor with the Fool over here. So some people, there could be a new beginning for some of you. Maybe you are taking on a new job, or, with Hathor, this seems to imply there's a strong feminine energy with this. So this could be female-oriented kind of work that's typically associated with women of some kind, but again, does not have to be. But there does seem like there's some kind of a new beginning here. And I feel like you are actually, just looking up here, I think for some of you, this could be a new position of authority and power. Like some of you maybe are starting a new job or starting a new thing where you are, taking on a managerial role or something like that. And Nephthys seems to indicate that there's, I don't know, this may be something very new to you. Maybe this is unfamiliar, or maybe there are just certain things that need to be hammered out or have to come down, because Nephthys has to do with things that have not occurred yet. So there could be some surprises in store here, but there's definitely a sense of like moving towards this level of control. And the fact that we see the Chariot down here as well, and the Fool down here, I feel like this may be, for some of you, this could be a new job or a promotion or a new position or something like that. So, but there's still some uncertainty about the situation. So Nephthys says, wait until you have all the information on something. But I definitely feel here like you're getting organized, you're ambitious, you're ready to go. You've got Emperor's Aries energy, and so is the Fool. So for some of you, I think you are just, you're at this new beginning and you're just kind of ready to go. In fact, looking over here at your 11th house of friendships and social networks, you have the Empress with Anubis, okay? So this is you maintaining your boundaries while you're working on growing something. I mean, Empress is definitely about trying to create something new, trying to plant seeds and see where they go. And actually, it's just kind of interesting because, this does seem like this is, whatever this is having a very grounding influence on you. So Anubis, I think this is actually typical of your energy anyway, Scorpio. Anubis is definitely very underworld associated, but this is a card of someone who's friendly and willing to negotiate, but also maintain strict boundaries and remain secret when they feel they need to, or only shares as much as they feel they need to share. But there definitely is this energy of abundance here. Being able to manifest what it is that you want, planting the seeds for doing something that you want, but also maintaining your boundaries in a friendly way while you're doing that. Excuse me. Now, the fact that I see the Empress here, and I see Hathor, which is really like an Empress card over here, that's interesting to me, because this is very strong mother vibes, but it may just be about what's going to provide security. It's strong Taurian or even Virgo energy. It's about being organized. It's about having things together, having your ducks in a row, and being able to be focused on what is going to provide you with something kind of in the long term or long standing. So I think you definitely seem to be very future focused about your security. And for some of you, this definitely means that there is a new start. And maybe this new start feels a little risky too with the Fool. Maybe it seems like it's a jump. It could be a change in career for some people, or just a leap of faith in terms of something that you're doing. Now I'm looking at the 9th house of Sagittarius here, and we have Isis again. We have this kind of mother-like energy, which is fascinating, because there's almost this sense of you being in a position of caring or caring for others, or it could be self-care too, but this is in the house of education. Okay, it's education, it's higher education, it's spirituality, it's long distance travel. Maybe some of you are traveling to see your mom. I mean, who knows? But I don't know. I feel more like this is something where you're persevering patiently, and where there's a lot of care and compassion that needs to be applied to a situation. And this feels very strongly like it has to do with work. In spite of the Emperor card here, it's like a type of leadership, but it's one that's going to require you to be, you certainly may have to persevere patiently with something. Maybe some of you are working on a degree or something. But we have the Sun card. So the Sun definitely indicates this energy of something positive opening up for you. Something that you care very deeply about. So there's either something you're learning, or this is some other kind of opportunity that is opening up your horizons. This is like Jupiter with the Sun. So that really shines a light on your ability to move ahead and to expand your horizons, especially with the Chariot just opposite here, which is Cancer energy. But we've got it's almost like this is the fire element. We've got a lot of water here, but we've got this fiery element. So I feel like in something you're doing or something that you're working towards, it's your time to shine. And it's definitely reminding you to make sure you take care of yourself. Like if you're taking on a very new responsible position, make sure that you're not burning yourself out. But yeah, there's a whole lot here around care. I mean, even Nephthys, who's the sister of Isis here, there's definitely this sense of, you've got this very practical energy here, but it's telling you to make sure that your heart is in play here. Everything here is pointing to your heart being in play. There's this very practical or very focused energy, focused on fairness, focused on clarity, focused on transparency. So, and a lot of this is very, very good energy. But there's definitely an ambition to go ahead, to move up, to do things. But they're all surrounded by this really feminine energy, the Ankh, Hathor, Isis, Nephthys. All of this is very strong feminine energy, which I think is telling you not to ignore your instincts, not to ignore your feelings, not to focus just on the bottom line and forget about people. There's a strong energy of that here. And there maybe still be some, and make sure that you're not, but also make sure you're not giving up too much of yourself for something that you're doing. Okay, so that all seems to be in play here. In the health area, actually, looking at Hathor in this Virgo house, this could also indicate that maybe you're going to be watching what you eat, or maybe if you're having some kind of an issue, that maybe diet is something that you want to pay attention to. Maybe there's some food you're allergic to and you don't know. I mean, so they're just, or but you could just be generally looking at doing more healthy eating and stuff like that as well. So that seems to be what's showing up there. Now let's look at your own house of Scorpio energy, and this is the 8th house. So this is interesting. You've got Sphinx with the Hanged Man. So you're taking a broader perspective here. Again, just like the Hermit straight across, this is like a deep dive here. This is a deep dive into, and you may, like with Anubis, you may be in a little bit of a retreat between the Hermit, Sphinx, and Anubis. You may be saying, I need a little time out, I need a little space for myself to kind of figure things out, to look at what the bigger picture is, to decide in the changes that are going on, what stays and what goes. You've got this, and these are both major arcana. This has a lot to do with finance, because this is personal finance and joint finance as well. And so, I don't know, I feel like you are really, it's interesting what a hard look you're taking at, at the future, about where you're going, about where your money is, about who you're connecting with, about how you're going to be taking charge of your destiny here from a very material kind of perspective. But I know your sign is deep anyway, Virgo. I mean, you are a deep diving sign. I mean, that's one of the things. The still waters run deep. You have a very friendly exterior, but there's a lot going on under the surface that people don't see. So this is completely in line with who you are. But there's definitely, with Nephthys here, there's a sense that you may be just kind of hanging back and getting a feel for something before you really jump in and commit to something. And you definitely is saying you want to see what the bigger picture is here. You're definitely being pointed to something that's kind of outside of you. Now, looking over at the center, I see that you have Sirius at the center of your reading. And this is definitely an Aquarian type thing. Think outside the box. How are we going to make use of our time, our energy, of technology? How are we going to take care of ourselves physically? There's all of these kinds of factors. So there definitely seems to be a work-life balance thing going on here for some of you. But there's a sense of, how do I think differently about something? How do I think outside the box? This is deprogramming yourself of orthodox concepts. So you may be in a very new space here and trying to figure out how to think differently. Your own energy is right in the center, the Death card, which means you are undergoing a change or transformation. but you are fired up and ready to go. Like, people are looking at you. They're paying attention to you. They may even, if you're looking for love, this could indicate people are finding you attractive. Like, there's some kind of a change going on here, and you are like almost becoming a different person. And so you really need to look at the new things that are happening to you and step back and say, okay, how does this fit into the bigger picture of who I am? What kind of decisions do I have to make? Who am I going to end up being? There's a lot, I'm seeing this a lot in readings lately, just for people personally, and then in these group readings, that people are, there's like a whole identity shift that's going on with you, Scorpio. And you may be moving into an entirely different place. So, but there's a lot of thinking to be done. You're planting a lot of seeds, but there's a lot of thought going on about what is going to make you secure in this new space. Yeah, you have Bass with the Wheel of Fortune in the Pisces house. I mean, this is about following your intuition, and this is a house of intuition. You may be concerned about connecting with others. Bast is a very social card. So the fact that it's showing up in the house of what's hidden, I mean, maybe you're kind of keeping that behind the veil right now. It's not that you're not intuitive, that you're not thinking about people, but there may be more of a sense of not wanting to engage so much right now, because the Wheel of Fortune indicates you are undergoing major change. There's the wheel is turning. These are all major arcana cards, okay? Death is major. Wheel of Fortune, Hanged Man, Hermit, Chariot, Lovers, Fool, Justice, in fact, and Empress. So let's see. Let me count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Out of 13 cards, technically, you have 11 of them are major arcana. Did I even get the Sun? Maybe, no, because it's not all of them. You've only got one minor arcana, and that is in the house, actually 2, and that's in your house of relationships and creativity. Now, for those of you looking for love, we do have the twins here, and we have it with the Page of Bats or the Page of Swords. So you may have a secret admirer. If you're looking for love, there could be somebody who's just not making things obvious. Maybe you're only going to hear about it through rumor, or, oh, I heard so-and-so said this about you, kind of thing. Page of Bats is a very indirect energy. It's more like something that's inferred through gossip, okay? And sometimes it's a younger energy with the pages, but it's almost like you're going to get a message about love if you're looking for love, but it's not going to be, it's going to be something very indirect. The person in question is not necessarily just going to come out and say what they think. Now, if you're not somebody looking for love, then this could have to do with a project or a venture or something, or maybe even if you have a child who has a relationship, but there's some element of this that is unknown or hidden, or something that you might only find out secondhand. So take that as it resonates. But if I look at the 7th house of Libra energy, which is that energy of, that's the energy of relationships. So if you are married, it would be your marriage. It could also be business partnerships and other kinds of connections. We have the 10 of Wands with the Buckle of Isis. So somebody, I don't know. Now, either there's somebody here who is working very, very hard and needs to give something up. This could be your spouse. It could be that maybe you're interested in somebody here, and maybe they're looking at you, but maybe there's somebody who's very, very busy and, is really working towards something here. So they're maybe not able to get into a relationship right now. That could be true for some of you. But this could also indicate that, a partner who is feeling very overburdened right now, and this literally indicates the need to drop something. I will tell you this, though. There's another possible angle to this, and sometimes this can come up when you think somebody might be being unfaithful, okay? But with Buckle of Isis, this definitely is a card of fidelity in marriage and in relationship. So I don't know. So I think it could be, like, for example, if you have the spouse who's working long hours and you think, gee, are they really working long hours, or are they seeing somebody else? This would be saying, no, they're really working long hours and they're being faithful to you. So if that's a question for anybody here, that might be a very specific thing. Then this is kind of assuring you that in spite of any gossip that you hear, this person is faithful to you. So, again, take that as it resonates. But wow, I mean, you are really in a time of major change, Scorpio, and you have a lot of decisions to make. You are making changes to just about every aspect of your life. You're trying to right things in the family, home and family area, and for some of you, you may literally be moving. There's definitely this expansion of horizons. There's a whole lot of feminine energy here, though, so I think it's definitely, you are a water sign, but it's definitely reminding you to keep your heart in play here and to look at the bigger picture. Okay, so looking at this deck, which is the Between Worlds deck, yeah, you've got death again. And again, this is your own energy. And you have it with the Maker card. So let me tell you what those mean. I usually read these directly from the book. The Maker is Aries energy, okay? A reality-bending, wiry character, the Maker channels their full energy into their craft. They have boundless imagination as well as the skills to manifest unseen ideas into reality. The Maker is a vessel of creativity ahead of their time. They prize their autonomy and authenticity above all else. They value the sacredness of the word and the potency of their work. Sometimes the Maker may suffer from their naturally impulsive nature or may have trouble finishing projects, okay? But there's definitely a lot of fiery energy here. Like, you definitely seem to be fired up to do something. Now, with Death showing up here, Death says, an old bird rests atop a pile of bones where, oddly enough, flowers are growing. This card signals significant change and, of course, an ending. It may be difficult, and that's okay. Do not turn away, but also don't dwell too long. Can you meet this moment with an open heart? Employ rituals for grieving and release. Then let yourself be free. Okay, so, yeah, one of the things about change, and as we charge ahead into new space, is that we want to make sure that the old is resolved. And if there are any feelings of grief or anything having to do with the past, anything that we're not quite ready to let go of yet, it's reminding us that we need to make time to be in the change and to experience the change, okay? So interesting that you have, I'm using the Halloween tarot this week because it is Halloween. You've got this idea of death, growing these pumpkins, and then you've got this bird atop, a pile of bones with flowers in it. So it's definitely saying that you are making something new out of whatever is ending here, okay? There's definitely, you've got this Empress here. You've got this creative energy. And yeah, all I can say is you are in the middle of a major change. And the fact that I'm seeing all of these wait and see cards here, even though you may be ready to charge ahead, and maybe, even the messages you're getting, maybe all systems go. Maybe you're making some kind of a short trip of significance. I really feel like it's saying, let everything unfold and make sure you're not just simply doing things the same old way. Don't repeat the past. But yeah, you are definitely in the middle of a major shift here, Scorpio. And like I said, the only place where I see the variable cards is under relationships. But every other aspect of your life is showing that you are absolutely moving in a new direction, maybe even taking on a new identity and grounding yourself in who you are and where you're going. But if you don't have all the details yet, then don't feel bad about taking a time out and waiting and figuring things out. So that's your reading for this next 2-week period, Scorpio. I hope this was helpful. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified about future videos. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in November.